Hello everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I wanted to work in my art journal today for the first time. I've made 2 videos previously doing some jelly prints, and I have the first lot of jelly prints here to show you. Really happy with the way they've turned out. They're not all to my taste, these really bright ones in particular. But I kind of want this journaling process to be a discovery of colour and change in my own art journaling. And so with that in mind, I plan on using some of the brighter jelly prints in my art journal to start with. Oh, there's tissue paper here that we pulled as well. Because I feel like that's an indication of where my journey first started. The paints that I used, I tried really hard. This is the one that we did on craft paper. Tried really hard to use bright colours only. I have a natural tendency to steer towards neutrals all the time, and I overlook the really bright colours. This was where we finished off in that video, and I love that print. So I feel like I progressed as I was playing and experimenting, and that's what I want this journaling process to be. It's not necessarily going to teach you anything because I'm new to all of this. I've never art journaled before. So it's really just sharing with you my road of discovery. That's my plan. So I did mention I've been watching Robin McClendon, and I will link her YouTube channel in the video below. And I've drawn some inspiration, mostly on where to get started. I think I mentioned in one of my jelly printing sections, and I may not have, but I started watching Robin's art journaling, I think it's 52-week art journaling challenge, and I've really been enjoying it. I've watched way more than just the 2 weeks, but by week 2 Robin had really clarified for me how to start an art journal, and in the second week, I believe it was, I had a clear idea of things that I wanted to try and I wanted to discover in my own processes, and that for me was a real light bulb moment. So I do want to give Robin a huge shout out. Thank you so much for sharing the videos that you are sharing. I'm slowly working my way through them. I have actually gone quite a ways ahead, and I've stopped myself from watching because I want to explore some of my own art journaling before I go back to watching Robin's videos, and I may even go back and re-watch some of them as I move forward. Again, I'm not following Robin's step-by-step process precisely. I'm taking inspiration from that to literally channel it into my own journey. So I have my book here from Spotlight, and my very first art journal, which I'm super excited about. I do want to just encourage it to lay flat. And if you go to Robin's channel, at the bottom of her video, in the description below her video, she does share where she gets her art journals from. I purchased this from, I'm sorry, my voice is really croaky today. I purchased this from Spotlight. I did share it in a previous collecting and gathering video, and I've actually purchased a couple now, so I have a few to work through. So I'm just going to get started, and basically my place to start is with these 2 jelly prints, and I really want to put them on facing pages. So how am I best to do this? Just need to work out where I need to tear. Actually, that's how you do it, Sharon. So I need to tear along this line, and I really love that I'm going to have a strip left over because I have a plan moving forward. I feel like this is a representation of my starting point, the really bright colours. It's where my art and craft sort of started many, many moons ago. I was definitely drawn to the brighter, bolder colours, which is why I have such a supply of bright, bold paint colours, because that's what I really liked at the time. And it's kind of odd to me that my style has evolved so much over the years. And that's part of the reason I really want to explore that. Just going to fold this over. And I might fold, tear from behind. And the same on this side. So I hope you're all fabulous. I am really excited to stop and think about what I was going to say then. I'm fabulous, by the way. I had to stop and think about what I was going to say then. I'm really excited to start this journal. This is something that's been building for quite some time now, something that I've really, really wanted to do. And I will say that until I watched Robin's videos, I really wasn't sure. I kind of had an idea that I knew what an art journal was, but I wasn't 100% sure. And, you know, for me, it was like a journal. It was somewhere to jot down ideas and keep notes and that sort of thing, but art related. I don't necessarily, well, I do have a style, I've come to realise, but for a long time I didn't know what that style was, or I didn't think it was enough. So I'm going to delve into that a little bit more as I progress through this process. And I don't know who I didn't think it was enough for, ironically. And I've come to realise that the only person I really need to please is myself in my creative processes and not anybody else. And it's okay if people look at things and say, I really like that, or I really don't like that, because I do that with my own art and craft. So I don't know why I expect anything less from others when they're looking at things that I create. So I'm going to pop these down, and I'm just going to use my glue stick. Oh, and it is my old glue stick. This one's a little bit on the tacky side, but that's okay. I'm just gluing down the whole page. I have set my timer for a half hour because I don't want these videos to be long videos, and I have a tendency to make everything I do seem so much longer than it needs to be. I'm not planning on creating a masterpiece in this particular video. I'm really just going to use my jelly prints and create some backing pages on or in my journal, which is kind of where Robin starts. So I think the first video, the jelly print session, she refers to as the void, which in hindsight makes perfect sense to me now. And it really did fill the void. Doing the jelly printing and creating these backgrounds really did. Oops, I haven't done that very well. Okay, so we need to go from the center out. Made it bigger than it needs to be, it seems. Although I did kind of think that that might happen. trying to get it as close to the center as possible. Where's my bone folder? Yes, Robin called that first video The Void, I think, and I've realised that that's exactly what I've had for many, many years, was a void in where to begin. Oh, it really hasn't. I haven't covered that very well at all. This is not making me happy. Whoops. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, we might just have to leave it like that and work around that bottom section. I guess that's kind of where my art and craft starts, is with all of the imperfections. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm just going to burnish that down a second time. I thought I could rescue that, but it's really not going to without tearing the paper. I really love the paper in this art journal. It's that real creamy colour. Okay. And then this piece here. I might get a new glue page. Where was I? I think I've talked about the void about 3 times now, but I'm going back to that. I wanted to start art journaling, or just even creating in an art book of some description, before I even knew what an art journal was or that they existed. But I really didn't know where to start, and so I love backgrounds. I absolutely love backgrounds. I love creating them. I love looking at them. I'm not the sort of person who needs to cover a background with a focal point to find it pleasing or appealing. And with that being said, I really love abstract, because for me, abstract art could be considered backgrounds, except that usually with abstract art there's a lot to look at, and so for me the jelly printing was a great place to start, because essentially I'm creating my own abstract art for my backgrounds, without having to think about it. I didn't really, I mean, I was thinking about colour, more so the whole bright versus neutrals. Again, I'm really missing the neutrals right now, and I cannot wait to get to that part of my art journaling. But I do want to start from my beginnings. Okay, so I'm really happy with those, and I think what I might do on the next page is use these 2 pieces here. I'm not going to do anything else to these. I will leave them to dry and I'm going to trim around them, but I just want those papers to represent my beginning. It represents the bright colours, it represents the backgrounds that I love, it represents abstract art to me. So I just want to leave those to speak for themselves. I may go through and add some little labels. I do have an old typewriter here, and I'm thinking about just getting some tea stain paper or something and typing up little labels to go on there. And perhaps I'll use some of those terms, backgrounds, abstract art, and bright colours, and just label those so that they then become a reference for me. So that's my first 2. I'm feeling kind of strange to say my first 2 pages in my art journal are done, but they are, aside from the labels. So I might turn that around that way. I'm just looking at this white down here. So I'm going to, I think, glue the back of this and then cut it to size once I've glued it in, because I didn't do a great job with the others. So yes, I love abstract, I love neutral colours, or I love muted and or vintage colours, I've come to realise. And so again, I've used the brights here because that's where my journey started, but I really want to find a way to use these bright colours. As you saw, I have quite a large tray of bright colours. I really want to work towards working out how I can use those bright colours and still hit my style aesthetic. And so that will be one of the things that I want to focus on in my art journal. And even if it's a case of sitting and playing with colour on the jelly plate or playing with mixing colour, I just want to see if I can work out for myself how I can appreciate the paints and colours that I have, but get them to work with my styling. So I think that's gone down okay. I do have a couple of spots that haven't stuck very well. I was a bit unsure about that glue stick, I must admit. Where is my art glitter glue? It may go... Oh, it's laying down. And oops, I'm not used to this little lid yet. I may need to go around a couple of spots and just add a little bit of art glitter glue. Just to a couple of the edges. Maybe that's not as bad as I thought. Kind of funny working in an art journal when you're used to working on a flat surface on the table, like a tag or a journaling card or something. Even that will be an adjustment for me, I think. Now I know that Robin's videos, it's a 52-week challenge, and I believe that she's encouraging people to art journal every day. I don't know that I will be doing every day. I would love to do every day, but whenever I say something like that, it never pans out. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do every day, but I am planning on doing it as often as possible. And my hope is to video. I'm thinking maybe even if I video and I just post it up without sound, just to show you my process, and perhaps I can, I did that upside down, I might do that one the other way as well. Why not? I might even consider doing the video and popping it up at double speed or at 1.5 speed without sound, just so that you can see my processes. I'm not really one to do voiceovers because, well, I just feel uncomfortable when I do it. I did try once. It didn't go so well. I don't remember whether I uploaded that video or not. I'm not sure. It didn't go badly. It was just uncomfortable for me to talk about things that I'd already done instead of talking about it when I was doing it. Oh, I was going the other way, Sharon. I don't know. I didn't enjoy the process as much. Okay. It's happened again. I don't have quite enough glue to the edge. I need to remember to clean that off before I pop this little lid on. Okay, so just tearing these. I'm not going to do any more with those in this video. I just want to have those ready to come back to. And then I'm going to look through here to see what other papers I have that I might want to pop down as backgrounds. I really want to use that as my last page because I feel like that's my finishing point for this session. Okay, so I'm umming and ahhing about this one, which makes me think I should add it. Those three. I might do that one. I'm not sure about that. I enjoyed that. Not sure about that either. But I put it in the pile. Okay, so I'm going to say this one next, except I'm not going to do a large strip of this, or do I? I guess I can always cover it over if I've got too much. I've got this section of blue here and there's a lot of black at the top, so I want to kind of balance that colour a little bit. You can see how quickly this timer is going to go off. I've got about 6 minutes left. Okay. Be safe. I'm getting a new glue book, a new glue page. Probably should have used this as a template to tear my next piece of paper. Didn't think about that until now. What I might do actually is make myself off camera. Oh, that's my old one. That's why it's not doing so well. Thought I was using my new one. Might make myself a template for my art journal for tearing the pages. It might make the process that bit quicker and easier. It's like I have a lot of white there if I got it in the right spot, but it's actually the page underneath. It's interesting actually turning the book that way. I like that. I think it's because it's at the bottom of the page, so that's another thing to consider too. Okay. I'm going to couple that with this red because we all know that red is not my go-to. I do really like, this is almost a navy up here, which I really like. So where do I need to place that? So I should mention the whole reason behind my doing the art journal process is that it's partly a discovery for myself because I'm going to go over the half hour because I've just looked, I've got 3 minutes left and I'm nowhere near done. We'll see how I go. I don't want it to be too much longer though. So I wanted to do this process partly because I've mentioned I want to experiment with colour and my own style, and I feel like it will be a good place to experiment with ideas and things that I haven't tried before, and it will give me a record of what I do, what I like, what I don't like. It'll give me a place to store ideas basically and keep them all together so I can refer back to them. And really just a safe place to play without the expectation of actually creating something that is usable. And I feel like that will be quite freeing. I really love this line down here. I feel like it'll be quite freeing. It'll allow me freedom to create, which I'm looking forward to. Now, I really love this paper. And just looking, I really love all three of these, but they're very similar. So I'm actually thinking I might use that one. The muted colours, it has a bit more of a matte finish for me, whereas this one I think I've used metallic, so there's a bit of a shimmer. So I might couple those together, and I might do those two together and leave it at that. And with these, I think I would like to cover, which way? That way. Cover the whole page. I've just realised that that is the width of an A4. It is an A5 size diary. I just didn't think about that because I was using the other paper's portrait instead of landscape. So lesson learnt there. I didn't have to tear as much. Never mind. I'm such a sausage. I knew that. I totally knew that. Never mind. Obviously it was about the way the image was on the paper that drew me to do it the other way. Okay, so I might use this to tear the rest, and if they're not perfect I can just trim around later. Okay, so that is, oops, there's my timer. So some of these backgrounds I may not come back to for a while. I really like I said, I just want them to be a representation of where I'm at, what I like, what I don't like. I really loved playing with the metallics and the bright colours, and I feel like they really toned down some of those brights. So that was a really fun discovery for me. And definitely not something that I would have considered would happen. It was quite a wow moment when I was playing with the gel plate in our session. So it's made me think that, you know, pairing it with, sorry, that was really loud, pairing it with or pairing the bright colours with the metallics is a way for me moving forward to use them in my other creating, to be able to use the bright colours and get them to a place, or get them to my happy place, get them to a tone that I really, really love. So, and that's what this whole process was for me all about, just the road to discovery. I often say it's really good to get in and just play, but I don't do it enough, I don't feel. I'm kind of playing, but I'm playing with the intent of creating something that can be placed into a journal, or, you know, perhaps a card or something like that. There's usually an end goal, whereas to play freely like a child who just creates for the sake of creating, I don't know when we stop doing that, but we do. And I had an art session with a Littley just recently, actually, and it was fun to discover art through their eyes, because it was very, very hands-on and just playing and discovering, and we did a little bit of that together, which was really, really fun. And I really enjoyed the process of discovering through a child's eyes. And as I said, we give ourselves so many barriers, I feel, in our creativity as adults, that they're just not there for children. So I need to go back to basics and just discover the joy of creating for the joy of creating. Oops, got a little bit of an air bubble there. I think I'm going to need to get, actually, I've got the inside of this Reader's Digest here. It might just bring my pages up a little bit better. I need to get one that I can sit under there that's the same size, and that way I won't have that dip while trying to work. Okay, so I'm going to glue the rest of these in, and we will have a look in my next video. As I said, I'm really excited to just play, just be creative. I'm not trying to please anybody. I have no expectations. I will be giving myself little not guidelines, but, you know, areas that I want to explore in at different times. But I want to do it in a very free way. So I hope this inspires some of you to just get in and play with your resources. The thing that Robin said in her second video, and I do encourage you, if you're at all interested in knowing more, to pop over and check out her videos. She asked what things inspire you, and that for me was a turning point. Once I started to think about that, she suggested writing them down. I haven't done that yet because I wanted to wait until I started this process before I do that. But once I started to think about the things that inspire me, I had all of these creative ideas. So that's why I got so excited. So just popping this down. Hubby is home, so I'm going to stop the video there. I will pop these 2 pages in and show you in our next video. I really, really hope that you feel inspired and you get out there and have some creative fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and please everybody, stay safe, stay inspired and happy crafting. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.